Good morning, everyone. I am the first discussant of the Lesson 28, the Global Citizenship. First, let us discuss the lesson objectives. At the end of this lesson, you should be able to explain the definition of global citizenship and the categories of global citizenship. Discuss the types of rights and duties of global citizenship, and formulate a commitment statement regarding your rights and responsibilities related to citizenship. The definition of terms: citizenship, how residents live in a particular area with previously agreed upon rights and responsibilities. Rights, any lawful social or moral principle of autonomy or entitlement. Duty, an obligation or expectation to perform an action based on law, their social norms, or a moral standard. The global citizenship, the belief that all people have rights and civic responsibilities based on the reason that they reside in the world. Lesson Introduction. Socrates, a classical Greek philosopher and one of the founders of Western philosophy, was once quoted saying, "I am not an Athenian or a Greek, but the citizen of the world." He identified himself as a global citizen. What is a global citizen? What are the rights and duties of a global citizen? How do we become global citizens? The answers to these questions will be discussed in the succeeding paragraphs. What is global citizenship? Before defining global citizenship, let us first discuss the terms global and citizenship separately. What is citizenship? Are there varied definitions, or is there an overarching one? In fact, there are many definitions of citizenship. It may be defined on the lenses of membership, status, practice, or performance. For instance, described in terms of membership and status, citizenship is defined as how residents live in a particular area with previously agreed upon rights and responsibilities. These statutes are restricted in a particular territory and a political boundary. This means that the citizens must have an understanding of their rights and responsibilities. In addition, using the lenses of practice and performance, citizenship may be defined as an institution that mediates the rights between constituents of a governing system and the system itself. However, the relation between the citizens and the governing system is not always unified nor stable. Global citizenship may be defined as an individual has an understanding of the way a society operates at the global level, and having that understanding that they interpret, for whatever reasons, that they have some responsibility as an individual to take action to achieve social justice or equity or environmental sustainability. Two very important aspects of citizenship are civic rights and duties. First, let us discuss the definition of rights and the different types of rights. Rights are defined as any lawful, social, or moral principle of autonomy or entitlement. It is a collection of what is allowed and what should be provided to a group of people based on a particular legal system, norms, or ethical standards. The three types of rights are civil rights, political rights, and social rights. Civil rights are entitlements provided by certain locality to its public constituents. These include the right to free speech. Every citizen is allowed to communicate openly. He or she is permitted to voice opinions even if it is criticizing the government, just as long as it has basis in evidence. Civil rights also include the right to have and to be treated with dignity. The purpose of civil rights is to prohibit discrimination on the basis of race, color, religion, sex, or national origin. Provisions of the Civil Rights Act forbade discrimination on the basis of sex, as well as race in hiring, promoting, and firing. Civil rights are those rights that constitute free and equal citizenship in a liberal democracy. So, yung civil rights, ito yung freedom of speech natin. Kahit na i-criticize natin yung pamahalaan na meron tayo, just like democracy, meron tayong freedom to express ourselves as long as meron tayong legal basis and evidences na may papakita. Next is the political rights. Are administrative entitlements provided by a specific government. These include the right to run for office, Every citizen has the right to be elected as a representative of his or her community as long as he or she meets various criteria. So, the political rights entail the power to participate directly or indirectly in the establishment or administration of government, such as the right of citizenship, the right to vote, and the right to hold public office. Social rights are entitlements related to public services and to social protection. These include insurance, healthcare, welfare, housing, and pensions. So, social rights are moral, legal, or societal rules and an understanding of what is necessary to fulfill people's social needs and to promote social inclusion and social solidarity. Social rights concern how people live and work together in the basic necessities of life. The importance of these rights is to protect and preserve every individual's humanity, to ensure that every individual can live a life of dignity and a life that is worthy of a human being. So, dito naman tayo sa 3 types of duties. What is the definition of duty? Duty comes from the French word due, which means to owe. Therefore, duty is defined as an obligation or expectation to perform an action based on the law, social norms, or a moral standard. The 3 types of duties in relation to citizenship are conscription, taxation, and participation. Conscription pertains to the obligation to register as a reserve force in the army. This means that every able-bodied citizen is asked to take up arms and fight for their country in case of war. The purpose of conscription is that when a military needs people to fight in a war but there aren't enough volunteers, sometimes they'll begin conscription, which is a law that says if you are able to fight, you have to fight, also called the draft. Conscription legally requires people to join the army with penalties if they don't. Next is the taxation. Relates to the duty to pay a compulsory contribution to a state or the government. Taxation is a term for when a taxing authority, usually a government, reveals or imposes a financial obligation on its citizens or residents. Paying taxes to governments or officials has been a mainstay of civilization since ancient times. Taxation is used primarily to raise revenue for government expenditures, though it can serve other purposes as well. The main purpose of taxation is to provide revenues for the government. The government exists to provide public goods and services that are not or cannot be provided by private trade. And the third is the participation. Refers to the obligation to take part in the community. Every citizen is encouraged to participate in the development of their community. They are also encouraged to vote for their leaders during elections. So, as a citizen, we all know that we have obligations that we need to participate in order for our community to grow and to have a better or to be a good citizen. What is global citizenship? Global citizenship is defined as the belief that all people have rights and severe responsibilities based on the reason that they reside in the world. Therefore, a person's global identity transcends his or her geographical and political ones. Although this does not mean that the individual must denounce his or her nationality, but these are secondary to his or her global identity. There are 3 categories of global citizenship. These are open global citizenship, moral global citizenship, and socio-political global citizenship. Open global citizenship believes that nations still exist and differ from one another. However, it recognizes the interdependence between different nations and the opportunities for cultural diversification. Open global citizenship is about how decisions in one part of the planet can affect people living in a different part of it, and about how we all share a common humanity and are of equal worth. It means being open to engaging positively with another or other identities and cultures, and being able to recognize and challenge stereotypes. Next is the moral global citizenship. It focuses on the ethical aspect of global citizenship. What are the moral facets of global rights and responsibilities? Moral global citizenship put emphasis on human rights, equality, and global responsibility, including respecting others, obeying rules and laws, and setting a good example to others. Global citizens feel a sense of responsibility to help when the rights of others are violated. No matter where in the world they live, difference when individuals join with others, local action can create global change. In socio-political global citizenship, it is emphasized that the social and governmental systems and structures around the world. It advocates to shift the existing political power in order to advance global equality. Such rights include not only the right to vote in an election but also the rights to join a political party, run for office, and participate freely in political rallies, events, or protests. So, open global citizenship believes that nations still exist and differ from one another. Moral global citizenship focuses on the ethical aspect of global citizenship, and the socio-political global citizenship emphasizes the social and governmental systems and structures around the world. Thank you for listening. The next discussion will be discussed by Ms. Kyla Mekas.